Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So firstly, before we get into this video, I know you probably have a few questions. Firstly, why have you not been uploading for 2 months? So my reason for that was I had some exams in real life, and then when they ended, I kind of just got bored, procrastinated, and didn't post anything. You're also probably wondering why I didn't react to the Fortnite season. That is because I was abroad when it came out. Unfortunate timing. When I got back, it was already like a week or two into the season, so I didn't see a point in reacting to it, because it's very likely you guys already knew about the season. And the third thing you're probably wondering is, why is my render distance currently so low? And I'll explain that in a minute. But today, we are doing the very long-awaited sequel to my interior design techniques video from a while ago. So, when I posted that video, at the end of it, I said, if this gets 10 likes, I'll do exterior designs. It didn't hit 10 likes for a very long time, but it recently has. So, that's why I'm doing this today. I think I'm going to start uploading a bit more frequently now, especially as my brother is catching up with me on subscribers, and I don't want him to overtake me. That's honestly my main reason for coming back to this channel. So, this is your house. So, it's a pretty bad house, right? It's got nothing on the exterior. I mean, it hasn't got anything on the interior either, but that's not the point. What's my other video for that? So, what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you some design techniques that you can make the exterior of a build look better. Specifically, this build. And then, at the end of the video, I have a second build, which is hidden away currently, that I will be walking through how I will go about decorating the exterior. If you want to see an interior to any of these builds, let me know. And also, comment below, what do you think I should upload next? Because it's been a while since I uploaded and I don't entirely know what to do. So, I'm now going to up my render distance, that is why it was so low. There is the build we will decorate at the end. And this is that house upgraded. I think this is a good viewpoint of it. So, there's two parts of exteriors. There's the actual outside walls of the house, and then there's the surrounding scenery. They have to work together. So, firstly, as you can see, I've textured all of the walls. Signs placement, slight variation in blocks, such as the composters and oak logs. I'll just 360 it around. Got trapdoors as well. Okay. So, firstly, I'll start from the top and work down, because there's a lot more stuff at the bottom. You'll notice that these roofs have got this, I don't actually know what you call these, but this bit here coming off. Just to add more detail to the roof. We also have a chimney, just made with some campfires. Then going down here, we've got some trapdoors to look like window shutters, and just some flower beds on the side. This one's been closed. We've also got a few roots hanging from the ceiling. That's not a ceiling, from the overhang. In the middle, we've got a line of composters going all the way around to separate things. And then bottom floor, we've just got some more shutters. I've also used the, what class is this? Light grey, because I feel like just plain glass is not that great in builds. We also have this nice little archway over the door here. So now, I feel like a good thing with a build like this is each corner needs to be unique on the outside. So let's go through them. We have a pile of bushes here. Any kind of foliage I feel looks really good around a build, like crawling up the sides like there's vines. vine spreading is disabled on this world, I would always recommend you have that disabled by default. This around the side, I've just got some storage, chests and barrels, and these beehives look a lot like crates. That's also one of the reasons why you've seen bees floating around. Going around over here, we've got some logs, and I've used extinguished campfires to make some kind of like I don't even know what you'd call this either, but protecting them, and I've used jungle wood to make it seem like they've been rained on. There should be rails there. The rails are an attempt to strap it down. And you can clearly see like the contrast between the jungle and the oak. We also have some leads here as extra support beams. They're attached to chickens in the ground. So you may hear chicken sounds around this build, but I think they look pretty cool. And then finally, we've got a little pond. It's made of mossy cobblestone with bits of lichen and moss, and it's just got a bunch of coral and water-based plants in it, and a little rose garden over here, which this water can actually hydrate. So now that's like the basic decoration of the house along with the path, but I've also added a bunch of trees and stuff like that as like a backdrop. I feel like whenever you're looking at something, there should be 3 key elements: the build itself, foreground and background. Foreground, for example, I've got a pile of hay and this little thing here which is meant to represent a wheelbarrow, kinda doesn't. We've got a lamppost and that tree. But in the background, these are natural trees. Well, not natural, obviously, I've planted the saplings, but no custom trees are needed. You can just sapling to make a little forest and as a good backdrop. We also have a little well using a cauldron. I didn't fully decorate the well because I can't really go that deep on super flat. And everywhere you've got ferns and grass. I didn't put any flowers down because there's a lot of types of flowers and quite frankly that's too much work. Even this was done with World Edit. But every build needs to look good from every angle. If you can see a build from anywhere, it needs to look good from that location, which I've tried to do with this build here. Because not only does it need to look good, it needs to look unique. Every angle that I'm showing you right now looks completely different. You can tell it's the same build. Like, they're connected in that it's the same building, but different enough that it all looks unique. So now then, this build back here, I know you're probably wondering, what is it? The big reveal of what this build is going to be. If I set this to air, sand should fall away, and we have a castle, which now also has a bit of a moat around it. There we go, you can't fall in the void now. So the obvious thing you'll notice about this castle is that it looks terrible. And that's intentional, as I'm about to walk you through the process of how I would decorate a build like this. So, firstly I'll show you what we have. We've got this foundation, which is, again, just a little bit of World Edit. We've got some braziers on this entrance, a big door, no interior, not needed for this video. Again, if you want, I could do an interior at a later date. And we've got 4 towers, 2 tall ones at the back and 2 short ones at the front. Okay. So, the first thing that I do with this build is I'd work on the outside perimeter first. So I'm just going to do that. This brazier design I quite like, so I'm just going to copy it. Like so. Select, copy, go to around here, and paste. So now we've got some corner posts. The next thing that a base like this would need is some walls, or in this case a perimeter fence. Just something to keep people out. So you could, I guess, place this by hand, like I'm doing right now. Or a quicker way would be select there and there, / replace air with iron bars. That's iron blocks. With iron bars, it's no longer air, is it? Ta-da! The corner one, not corners, the edge ones may not be placed properly, but it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this on all 4 sides. Okay, and just like that, it is done. So the next major thing we need to do is most of these walls, they're very flat. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is add some more details into these walls. So I've already started that with some little arrow slits around, as well as some windows. But I feel like some areas could do with a bit more. Such as here, for example. If we get some stairs and slabs, and some of these blocks themselves, that's all we really need to make a bit of a basic arch up here. Already, look how much better that looks. So this build particularly doesn't have too much places where we can do that on the walls, especially as most of the walls are circular, i.e. the towers. But there are a few other details we could add to them, like these things that castles usually have. I don't know the name of them, but I know that castles have them. You could do this with slabs, but I always prefer stairs for things like this. Unless it's an odd amount, then you might want to bring a slab in. And just like that, that's done as well. So, as you can see, there's many different ways that this can be done, and there isn't really a correct way, it's all down to your opinion, and that really applies to anything when you're building. I would usually recommend for you to use a consistent method throughout, however, I have not done that here, just for the sake of showing you different methods. So slabs work, stairs work like this, or just like that, or like that. Plenty of ways you could do it. Now then, that's almost all you can really do with this build. But there's one key thing we're missing. Texture. All of the walls are stone brick, or stone stairs, or stone slabs, but it's all stone brick something, right? We don't want that. So you could go through and get cracked stone bricks and just dot them about like that, which is actually a good way of doing it in little patches. However, you must make sure you don't want to overdo it. If the whole build looks cracked, then you just have the same problem as before, but just with cracked bricks. However, the cracked bricks actually make it worse, because there's more detail in them, so it just looks a bit too crowded. So I would recommend like a very small amount. So I'm just going to use World Edit for this. It's near 100 to do stone bricks. No, not slabs, normal stone bricks. Now, a cool thing you could do with World Edit is percentages. 5% cracked stone bricks, 5% mossy stone bricks, and then 90% regular stone bricks. And just like so, it's got plenty of cracks and moss in it. Obviously this isn't the best way of doing it. The way I said before is much better, because you don't have big empty areas like this, and they're less sporadically placed. But this way works as well if you're building in creative, and is much more time consuming. No, much less time consuming, sorry. And then you can go through and replace all of these with like slabs and stuff, and I don't think there's a cracked stone brick slab, so we'll just have to take that out and put this up to 95. I don't think there are many slabs, but yeah, you can see a few of them have gone mossy. Down there as well. And then finally stairs. Oh dear. So the issue with using stairs in World Edit is they don't really mix. And now you've got a mess like this. So I think I'm going to leave the stairs how they are for now, and move on to the next part. So, we have the castle built. However, what else do you think this build needs? Well, like this build, more decorations outside. Remember what I said about foliage? This area, for example, you could easily put some oak leaves, or I would always recommend using azalea leaves for bushes, right? You don't want them completely solid, right? You want them like kind of spread out with a few flowering ones, which is why I recommend azalea. And then we can use trapdoors, like that, to kind of keep them in. Vines also work quite well with this sort of thing. However, like I mentioned earlier, make sure you have vines spreading off, because these are a real pain to slow down if they start spreading where you don't want them. Then on this side, we can do a similar thing, but you want it to be unique. So I'm going to do a flower garden on this side, using, I wouldn't recommend using dirt. I'm going to use farmland. Farmland looks much better, in my opinion, for things like this. However, it becomes dirt very quickly. Also, this design won't work anymore, so I'm just going to spread them out. So always make sure, if you're using farmland in your builds, have a hidden water source nearby. And I've now got to replace all of this. Does water not work if it's below the ground? Oh, I guess not. Well, in that case, you're probably going to want it hidden in the walls, Now, this is often difficult to do. Because you don't plan to hide water in your walls. So you may struggle finding an adequate spot for it. But that'll do. Now if I do #flower, you can just get a variety of flowers. I'm gonna go with the orange ones, obviously. And it's a nice little flower garden. There. Farmland is better than soil for this for many reasons. Because it's slightly lower down to add more depth, and it also just looks better in my opinion. But one issue with it is if you look very closely, the plants are slightly hovering, but that's not that big of an issue. So now then, that is almost everything that you can do to the exterior of a build like this. Builds like this one, when you're looking at it from very close up often, and it looks good, which is why it's so detailed. But builds like this are better looking at from far away. If I go up here, that build looks great as is. I get closer again, and sure, it may look a little plain, but it's fine. So a very important thing you need to consider with exteriors is the scale. Smaller builds need more finer details, because you're going to be looking at them close up, mainly. Larger builds don't need that. You can have a few, but it doesn't need to be, but it doesn't need to be that many. This is good. We don't need more than this. Hello. The interior could definitely do with some work, but that's not for this video. The exterior, at this scale, that's enough detail. You could add more, but you don't want to overdo it. So, anyway, that's going to be the end for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If we get 10 likes, I'm going to do another part to this series where I decorate the interiors of both of these using designs from the first video plus a few more, because I'm much better at interiors, I feel, than exteriors. And also, as I said at the start, please comment any other ideas for videos, because I need them, quite frankly. And please subscribe as well. I want to beat my brother in subscribers. Goodbye.